I'm Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. Senator Sherrod Brown blasted the Supreme Court's ruling to overturn Roe v. Wade on the Senate floor Thursday. He slammed Ohio's implementation of a 6-week abortion ban after the Supreme Court's decision was released. He said that, quote, "Doctors are having second thoughts about wanting to move to Ohio because these abortion laws are so radical and so immoral and so extreme." The High Court's ruling has reignited the abortion debate in the U.S., with Republicans celebrating the overturning of Roe v. Wade and Democrats slamming it. Here's more from the Ohio Democrat.
Senator from Ohio.
And I thank Senator Cantwell for her leadership, and especially Senator Cortez Masto for her legislation, which I'm about to address. I know that she has running to things today, was in the Banking Housing Committee, and is doing this on the floor. And I'm so appreciative of her time and her efforts from housing to protecting women's health and protecting women's rights. I want to comment on some of the things that she said, that Senator Cantwell said, and about this issue, and then one specific thing that's happened in my state, which is outrageous and immoral. The extreme decision a few weeks ago of 5 judges took away women's freedom to make their own personal health care decisions, handed it over to politicians. We're already seeing how this puts women's health at risk. Senator Cortez Masto and many others on the floor have said that. My state, unfortunately, is worse in what's happened. Fewer than 10 hours after the Supreme Court's announcement, Ohio's 6-week abortion ban took effect. They even banned abortion in cases of rape and in cases of incest. That night, women across Ohio received calls from their doctors, letting them know their appointments had been canceled, that they'd need to travel to another state for necessary medical care. Ohio politicians are forcing Ohioans, those that can, to take extra time off work to find childcare, to spend resources that they may not have to travel to get the life-saving care that they need. One group of, at a roundtable I do this job much by listening to roundtables of 10 or 15 or 20 Ohioans talk to me about veterans care or health care, or in this case, women's health or jobs, or all the things that I learn and take back to Washington. I did a roundtable recently where I'm hearing from doctors that because Ohio's laws are so extreme, that women and men, especially women, but men too, young doctors who might do their residency at some of the best hospitals in the world, the Cleveland Clinic or University Hospital or Cincinnati Children's or Nationwide Children's, that doctors are having second thoughts about wanting to move to Ohio because these abortion laws are so radical and so immoral and so extreme. I'm also hearing that prestigious colleges, or colleges of all kinds that we attract, Ohio has more small colleges and small universities, private 4-year schools, than almost any state in the country. And we have great state universities in Ohio and great community colleges. I'm beginning to hear from college presidents that students who are considering coming to Ohio to go to school are having second thoughts again because of the extremism of this legislature on abortion, and as the presiding officer, the Senate's expert on this issue, the extremism on gun laws in Ohio. One candidate was campaigning for Congress in Northwest Ohio, and he had a holster under new Ohio law. He had a holster with a gun in it as he was walking along the side of the street handing candy to children. I mean, it's just ludicrous. But back to this issue that Senator Cortez Masto is leading on. Earlier this month, a 10-year-old girl, a survivor of rape, was forced to travel to Indiana from Ohio to receive health care. She was past the 6 weeks. Republican politicians first tried to deny it. They mocked her. They mocked this. They didn't know who she was at that point. They mocked the story. They said it couldn't be true. Then the man who did it was arrested. No real apology from these well-known Republican politicians, members of Congress, statewide office holders. They had mocked this story, just saying it couldn't be true when it was true. Yet, did they apologize? No. They should look into a camera. They should stand in front of many of us and say, I'm sorry. They should apologize to that little girl's family and that little girl's doctor and that little girl's the support group that she has. No 10-year-old, no American should have to go through what she went through. Since May, 50 reports of rape or sexual abuse involving children under the age of 15 have been reported in Columbus alone. 50 reports of rape or sexual abuse involving children under 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10 years old. Children that have been abused like that have been reported in Columbus alone. And I don't know, are the right-wingers in the legislature that think abortion should have no protection, that no woman should be protected, rape, incest, life and health of the mother, that they just deny any of this happened? Are they going to do that again and continue to attack these families? Now, because of the Ohio legislature's fixation on controlling women's bodies, victims of rape in Ohio won't be able to access the care that they need. Even in cases where it may technically be allowed, doctors will be afraid to provide it. I heard the fear in doctors' voices in that roundtable in Cleveland earlier this week, and I've heard Senator Murray talk about this, who's joined us in the chamber. I heard doctors talk about the fear that their colleagues have that to even get near a pregnant patient who might have another health care issue. Women and girls shouldn't have to travel around the country to receive care. In many cases, care that will save their health or their lives. Doctors shouldn't have to wait on lawyers to tell them if they can provide the care. Again, the fear of these doctors, these were brave women that were two women and a man that were talking to me. They were talking about the fear in others, other physicians, that they are afraid they're going to have to wait on lawyers to tell them if they can provide the care their patients need. That's what happens when politicians insist on making medical decisions for women and for girls that doctors and the women and girls themselves and their families should be making. Now, anti-choice politicians attacking Senator Cortez Masto's bill are trying to criminalize interstate travel. Politicians can't hold pregnant women and girls hostage. Politicians should not be able to decide who can travel where. This is America. This is in my state, it's Ohio. You're allowed to travel wherever you want, whenever you want, as long as you're doing it legally. Interstate travel is a constitutional right. That's why the Senate must pass the Freedom to Travel for Health Care Act to protect that right, to protect Ohio women and girls, to protect the health care professionals who serve them, all of them. When, how, and whether to have a family is the most personal and meaningful decisions we make in life. The freedom to make those decisions for yourself, free from political interference, should be available to everyone, everyone. We can't accept a world where our daughters and our granddaughters have fewer rights and less freedom than their mothers. As soon as I heard about that decision, about the Dobbs case and the Roe v. Wade, first thing I thought about is my wife, who will celebrate her 65th birthday in 2 weeks, and I thought that my mother, my deceased mother, and my wife have more rights than my daughters in their 30s and early 40s, and my granddaughters are still too young to really understand what this is about. What kind of world is that where people of my generation had more rights than we're bequeathing to our children and our grandchildren? I won't stop. I know Senator Murray won't stop working to protect women's freedom, all Americans' freedoms, to have families and live their lives how they want, when they want, free from meddling politicians. I yield the floor.